Ultra-processed foods undermine satiety, distort appetite signals, and dramatically increase total energy intake in ways that are consistently harmful across all age groups. Although people often think overeating is a matter of personal discipline, the truth is far more disturbing. The degree of food processing directly influences how quickly we eat, how much we consume, and how satisfied we feel afterward. Processed foods are engineered, intentionally, to bypass the body's natural fullness mechanisms. Minimally processed foods, by contrast, support slower eating, stable hunger signals, and significantly lower caloric intake. The gap between these two categories grows even more dangerous when comparing children, teenagers, adults, and older people, each of whom faces unique vulnerabilities. In children and teenagers, the impact is particularly severe because their satiety-regulating systems are still developing. Highly processed foods are softer, easier to chew, and require far less time to swallow, meaning kids consume them at astonishing speeds. This speed bypasses the brain's natural satiety checkpoints, which rely on chewing, stomach stretch, and nutrient recognition to signal fullness. Studies show that children can eat hundreds more calories in minutes when given ultra-processed foods compared to whole foods, because the brain simply does not have time to register that enough energy has been consumed. Even worse, the low fiber content of processed foods means that fullness fades quickly, triggering more hunger soon after eating. Over time, children become conditioned to expect constant snacking and large portions, creating early patterns of overeating that are extremely difficult to reverse later in life. Teenagers face an added layer of vulnerability. During adolescence, hunger naturally increases due to growth and hormonal shifts. When this heightened appetite meets ultra-processed foods, the result is a near guarantee of chronic overeating. Teens often consume meals at school, during social events, or while distracted by screens, all environments where processed foods dominate and fast eating is normalized. Because these foods deliver intense flavors without providing substantial satiety, teens quickly develop a distorted sense of what normal fullness feels like. They start believing they need oversized portions to feel satisfied, while minimally processed foods start to feel bland or insufficient. This shift in expectations can follow them into adulthood, raising their long-term risk of obesity and metabolic instability. Adults, meanwhile, typically experience the most dramatic difference in energy intake when switching between processed and minimally processed foods. Research shows that adults given unlimited access to ultra-processed meals consume hundreds of extra calories per day without realizing it. The combination of low fiber, high energy density, and rapid eating speed creates a biological trap. Adults eat quickly, feel a short-lived sense of fullness, and then experience sharp drops in satiety that push them toward additional meals or snacks. This pattern often leads to steady weight gain over months and years, even in individuals who believe they are moderating their intake. Ultra-processed foods also activate reward pathways more intensely than whole foods, which encourages faster, more impulsive consumption. This accelerates eating speed further, making it extremely difficult to control portion size or stop eating once started. For older adults, the consequences become even more dangerous. Aging naturally weakens appetite regulation, slows digestive processes, and reduces sensitivity to satiety hormones. When seniors consume ultra-processed foods, these weaknesses are exploited to an alarming degree. Older adults may eat larger portions than they need because processed foods are easy to chew and swallow, even when minimal calories would have been sufficient. At the same time, the lack of protein and fiber in ultra-processed meals means seniors fail to maintain lean mass or stable blood sugar, contributing to frailty, loss of muscle strength, and increased appetite fluctuations. Many older adults mistakenly attribute their rising hunger or sudden weight changes to age, when the underlying problem is the inability of processed foods to generate real satiety. Across all ages, minimally processed foods behave almost like an opposite category altogether. They take longer to chew, longer to digest, and longer to leave the stomach. Their fiber and protein content slows energy absorption, stabilizes blood sugar, and extends feelings of fullness for hours. People who eat whole foods naturally take in fewer calories, not because they try harder, but because their biology works the way it is supposed to. The contrast with ultra-processed foods is so stark that in controlled studies, when individuals are allowed to eat freely, they consume significantly more calories on a processed diet even when the meals are matched for taste and appearance. Satiety is not a matter of willpower. It is a physiological response that food processing can strengthen or destroy. The warning could not be more urgent. Ultra-processed foods systematically dismantle the body's ability to feel full, driving people of all ages to consume far more than they need. Children develop a warped sense of fullness before adulthood. Teens get trapped in patterns of rapid, mindless overeating. Adults unknowingly consume extra calories daily that compound into long-term weight gain. Seniors face destabilized appetite and accelerated decline in metabolic and muscular health. The harmful effects of processed foods on satiety and energy intake are not minor, inconvenient, or occasional. They are fundamental, predictable, and deeply damaging. Without recognizing how powerfully food processing shapes hunger and fullness, people will continue to blame themselves for overeating, unaware that the true cause is built into the food itself.